The house was blistering. Mama had drawn in and closed the wooden shutters hours earlier. Damp towels lay rolled on window sills. The heat still seeped in. She now sat at one corner of the sofa, grey phone receiver in one hand pressed to her ear, plant mister in the other. She sprayed her face at intervals. Mama had always said the heat never bothered her. It was how she was made. That summer had been different. I sat at her feet staring at the muted TV screen, getting up and flipping between channels. Channel 1, Channel 2. The third channel stopped its broadcast at 1 p.m. There were only 2 programs for children. I flipped hoping I might find something. In the corner of the room was Granny's old metal fan. It clicked and whirred, drowning out Mama's English-laced Arabic. I could make out none of the conversation, except to take note when she switched to French. It was the single language she spoke that I still didn't know. She seemed to use it more often that summer. I had no way of measuring time, but we sat like that for hours. Ozzy appeared now and then at the doorway and meowed. Mama ignored him. He was grey with long hair. Mama had said it was a bad idea to have a Persian. If one were to have a cat, it ought to be a local, a Beledi. Baba said let the girl have what she wants. He brought him home in the palm of his hand one day. The day I turned 5. I wanted to call him Fluffy. Mama said Fluffy was not a proper name. She called him Osama. Baba never touched him again. He was allergic, even though his hands were huge. He would put me onto his palm and lift me into the air. I would sit perched like that as he watched TV. I missed Baba's hands, especially his giant fingers. He would make a hook out of them and pretend he was hooking my neck like a fish, pulling me close to kiss him. I loved the way Baba smelled. You could smell him everywhere in the house, especially on the sofa. Even when he went on trips, his smell would still be there. It had gone away this time. I was waiting for him to come back. Every day after school I would get out my class notebook and turn back the pages to the one with the green star in the corner for the day he left. I would flip to the next page, then the next page. I counted until I reached 14. I kept counting until the page we used in school that day. 57. I couldn't tell how many extra days it had been. It was July, but I was still in school. My cousins had 4 months of summer holiday, sometimes 5. We only had 1. It was the English school. In Arabic school there was no homework. The teachers didn't make enough money to correct it. I wanted to be in Arabic school like my cousins. It wasn't fair. Mama shook her head. 4 months of summer would make of me a listless child. Too much holiday was bad for character, Mama said. Poor posture was also a sign of it. That summer had become a concern. Mama finished her phone call and told me to walk across the room with a book on my head. She made me do this each afternoon. I made it like a game. I especially liked when the book began to slip. It tilted to the right, and I felt it. I bent my knees. It was as if I were going to jump, take off, but I slid back up, pushing my right shoulder. It slipped back into place. It only ever slid to the right. The next time, it fell. It was an old book with a thick blue cover. It said Suez. It hit the parquet floor with a thud. I glanced back at Mama nervously. I saw she wasn't watching. It was a school night, but Mama had stopped paying attention to time. I stayed up late with her. I took out my sketchbook. I drew fish, the bottom of the sea, myself swimming with them too. The teacher shook her head. She told me I had to watch myself. I was a dreamer. I turned to the TV. They were replaying pictures of starving children in Ethiopia. Every day we watched them. Mama had a friend from Ethiopia. She taught me how to count to 10 in their language. Whenever she came for lunch, she said a prayer before she ate. She said it was for the famine. She told me to look at the food on my plate and remember how lucky I was. With each bite I should remember Ethiopia. Maybe I should send my lunch to Ethiopia. Every time I see the starving children on TV, I say a prayer. I don't know what to say, but I put my head down like Kebi and move my lips. I then say Allahu Akbar, like Grandmama does. I whisper so that Mama can't hear. There are also starving children in Cairo, but they never show them on TV. I see them in the streets on the way to school. They sell lemons at the traffic light. 3 of them sleep in a cardboard box under the bridge next to our house. One of them has hair like mine. I know if I stand next to her, the tops of our heads will meet. I want to talk to her, but when I smile and start to roll down the window one day, Mama tells me to look away. I'm not to encourage such behavior. I turn my head down. I look at her from the corner of one eye.